Dear Diary. So, right now it's the 15th September. It's 1:50 a.m. and it's 17 degrees outside. Well, what's supposed to be another day where we do something? Unfortunately, the day has rather passed on, like pretty too fast. Like pretty much too fast for my liking. And not to mention, I have tried a crack of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Yep, I joined in on the bandwagon and downloaded a freaking crack of the collection that has 6 parts with 500 megabyte parts. Got it from probably one of the stupidest websites to ever get video games from, and it's none other than Fit Girls Repack. And the installation from that piece of shit website is really, really, really unnerving, you know. It is a complete joke, you know. Like, you could get almost everything you would want on there, every cracked game, not all of them. But then, when you get the parts and you eventually download the entire game, if, you know, downloading from a torrent, you literally get treated to probably the worst ever installation ever. Like, no joke. I have downloaded motherfucking Yakuza 3 Remastered from there, but on another website. And I've been trying to install some goddamn Yakuza 3, and I kid you fucking not. It took, literally, like pretty much an entire night. An entire fucking night. Just to just to progress with the installation of the game. I'm dead fucking serious. Like 5 hours or 6 hours of the nighttime was completely lost because of that installation time. And the same goes for the little Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. The installation timing was fucking horrible. It was fucking horrible to the point of, it's not even a big game. Like, I could understand because Yakuza 3 was a bigger game, but that's a goddamn collection filled with old video games. It shouldn't be that long to install that. Like, for God's sakes, I was able to install the Capcom Fighting Collection in literally less than that, by miles. And I was able to fuck around in that for much longer. It is seriously the most absurd, and I mean the most absurd thing you could ever get by. Seriously. It is so horrible. Really horrible. But then eventually I decided to look up how the hell to get by that long installation. And well, a tutorial that has actually worked on making that game's installing process a bit more tolerable. A bit way more tolerable than that. Because instead of moving like a very single dick inch digit, it was moving like how an installation actually would work. I mean, come on, the fucking PlayStation 3 was its installation process was doing much better than that. And I'm dead fucking serious. As a matter of fact, it is even as worse as GTA 5's loading time on the original PlayStation 3. It is absurd in all levels. Well, eventually after following that tutorial, I played, I played through most of the games for a little bit. First on the regular 4-star difficulty, and then, well, eventually played through the entirety of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the max difficulty, and well, it is the save that you can ever expect. Just good old Marvel 2. Good old Marvel 2 like how I always played. Because you see, I'm not a super competitive dude who used to play online on stuff like that, Null DC 8 or whatever, or playing on Fightcade, you know, with all the rollback stuff that's been going on. No, I wasn't a part of that, but I basically used to play all of these games. And I mean all of these games, no exception, alone. So yeah, it is as casual as it can ever get. Well, the other games on that difficulty weren't so good. But believe me, I used to beat some of these games almost with no continues, and with a lot of goddamn close calls and bruises and lots of fucking... I used to be good at those games, basically. Especially ever since the PlayStation 1 port of each Marvel game. But not X-Men Children of the Atom, because that game was a piece of shit difficulty on that max difficulty. And to make it even more ironic, I used to be able to dominate, like pretty much dominate the arcade and the PlayStation 1 ports most of the time. Because in all seriousness, this was a pain. But yeah, today's playthrough through that little collection, well, wasn't anything special, nor anything that is super hype. Like, I can understand the people who didn't know, or probably don't want to be into emulation and just, you know, happy enough that they are able to get it on their PS4 or Xbox or whatever the hell they play it from. Hell, it's even more kind of hype-worthy since that, you know, the people that have a Nintendo Switch can actually play some good Marvel vs. Capcom on, you know? And not only that, but I think in the console version, I think that there are these one-button special. They're probably to be used only in training mode. Probably only in training mode whatsoever. Yeah. It is as decent as it gets, but yeah, let's be real. It still kind of sucks. But yeah, in any case, like, yeah, congrats to the people who were hyped enough for this. Like, it is honestly pretty cool. Pretty cool. But for me, as a guy who have always played with emulation, starting from the phone time, starting playing Marvel games on the laptop, and then when I got a newer phone, I was able to play those PlayStation 1 ports on that little phone, and everything was just going pretty fine for me back in the day. So I'm going to say that I'm not really that hyped, but for the little novelty, it did make me waste some time. In a tiny bit of a positive way. It's just good old Marvel. Plus Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and The Punisher. Like, Question. Why? Why the Punisher, out of all goddamn games, to have another re-release when, there are other potential Capcom games that didn't literally have any kind of home ports? No, well, it's the least of nice of these things I would think about. Because, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's just good old Marvel. Good old Marvel, starting from Children of the Atom all the way to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And it's how I used to know it. Now is the ability to literally get every single, to play as every single character you could ever imagine from the get-go, or by just enabling or disabling them from the EX options. Yeah. Probably no one has ever been able to see such a thing back as the arcade machine, or the Dreamcast, or the PlayStation 2, or that Xbox port, or even that godforsaken PlayStation 3 port. That game had a lot of ports, and yet it doesn't really matter. It's just good old Marvel 2. Meanwhile, the other games had a pretty decent way to, to give secret characters in some places, such as the good old secret characters from Marvel 1, which is pretty great, like in the PS1 time. The secret characters on X-Men Children of the Atom and Marvel Superheroes, especially freaking Anita. Like literally, you could just make a crazy amount of infinite on this one. Yeah, it is as Capcom. It's just good old Marvel, but now re-released onto modern consoles and the PC. But hey, you could just emulate those games, honestly. It would take the fun away. And there is, in fact, the way to play it online is on Fightcade. I know, it is just me not being a true gamer, but remember, I'm in a country that pretty much never, and I mean never, has any of these old stuff in there. And never even a single Super Nintendo or a Nintendo, except for a very few fucking Famicom clones, which usually result in terrible music and terrible graphics. And lots of games that I have barely got any recollection of, except for Contra and Ghosts and Goblins. Like, in all seriousness, it is... So, emulation was the key. And I've discovered emulation through an ancient Egyptian website that used to host video games as we search for it, It used to host video games and pretty much lots of PC games. Some were portable, some were not, some were full, so we weren't able to access them due to the very ancient nature of our internet back today, and so on. So yeah, probably lots of other people wouldn't be safe. I don't know, but yeah, look, we could just emulate those games, whether they're home ports or their original arcade ports, and play them online using Fightcade. As for the other games, with the likes of Project Justice, Power Stone, Capcom vs. SNK Pro, and fucking, I don't know, Capcom vs. SNK 2, and Street Fighter Alpha Street Upward, which I do not fucking understand why. I mean, don't we have already a Street Fighter Alpha that was already been released to so many home ports? And lots of home ports offer different types of modes and offer different selections of characters. When you literally have probably the 95% definitive port for Alpha 3, which was Alpha 3 Maximum or Alpha 3 03 Double Upper in Japan. And then there's Capcom Fighting Jam or Capcom Fighting Evolution. And I can agree with everyone when they say that game fucking sucks. Huge dick. Like, that game is fucking horrible. Why? Well, it is trying to be a Capcom Fighting All-Star. And that piece of shit game has replaced the real Capcom Fighting All-Star, or whatever the hell it was called back in the day. And it was going to be 3D, it was going to contain some memorable characters, it was going to contain some cool stuff. I think got replaced by that shit. And truthfully, it was horrible. Like, you want to play as Ryu, okay, but you're only going to play as him in his quote-unquote Super Street Fighter 2 form. Yeah, just a 1 meter super and a very sluggish gameplay. You want to play as Felicia? Oh, I see you're trying to play as her in the same fighting style. That's not gonna happen, buddy. You're playing as them as in the quote-unquote Darkstalker style. And so, oh, you want to play as Chun-Li? Well, you're going to play as her in a Street Fighter Surge Strike form. Not joking. Like, literally. You're playing as Ingrid. Well, that's cool, but she's in a total different style. That is technically original. Oh, you want to play as that lion guy from Red Earth? That's pretty cool. But you're playing as his original playstyle. You want to play as Sakura? That's cool, but only in the custom combo groove. And literally so on. You're not getting a selection of grooves, but you're gonna play the characters that you want, but not in the same playstyle as you would expect. As a matter of fact, it is stupid and sluggish as all hell. The game itself looked pretty stupid, and the notable things about it are only like some of the music. Very little good music on that game. Otherwise, it's a cockadookey piece of shit. And AVGN would have a field day with it. Literally. And that team changing mechanic after every round. Like you literally want to stay as Ryu or want to change to Sakura. That can only happen on the next round. It's fucking horrible. What were they thinking, man? So yeah, I can agree with CFGC when they said that this game fucking sucks cockadookie. But yeah. But yeah, like, I think this is gonna be me talking on and on about fighting games and how far they went. But long story short, I have literally played some Marvel vs. Capcom collection today on my PC using cracks. And I pretty much did not want to get that at first, but I just wanted to test it out, how it would play on my PC, how, you know, how broken or how uh, fluid it would be. And surprisingly enough, it was going pretty good. But there are two flaws in it. One, you are pretty. I'm pretty sure that most of you have already seen boot display, right? It shows you basically the boot up before every game, you know? Like, for example, you're playing X-Men vs. Street Fighter, so it shows X-Men vs. Street Fighter, the region, and the number, like how it used to be back in the arcades. And you would expect to hear the Q sound, right? The Q sound logo jingle is there. But no, it is not there at all. Literally, the Q sound logo jingle, nor the logo itself is there at all. And I've tried for all the other Marvel games, and it wasn't there. But you know what else was there? The Capcom logo on the Capcom logo jingle on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They put that in Marvel 2, but they removed the fucking Q sound moment from all the CPS2 games. And it honestly kills the mood because it's going straight into the game. And for Marvel superheroes, most of you always remember the Q sound, and then that high score display featuring Spider-Man being like, one for JJ. And then the intro starts. But in this collection, it is pretty much as instant as you could ever get on a home port. Like they removed the Q sound and removed the high score part. Kinda weird, but sure. That would work. We say they have minimal changes, but that Q sound is a huge fucking change. Then comes the turbo options. Like, I've tried the turbo options, like free select 1 and 2, and I don't know. Like, when I pick turbo with the free select stuff on, I don't think there is much of a difference between it and the normal speed, you know? Like it is going fast as how it used to be, but not as fast as I would usually expect, you know? It was like, back then it was like a Turbo 2 or some shit. Yeah, but I guess it doesn't kill, like it kills a little bit of how the speed in those games used to be. But other than that, it is still the same. Yeah. Then, yeah. After pretty much playing through the entirety of Marvel 2 on that collection, I would not delete it now, but I would delete it definitely later, because again, it is still a Marvel. It is still a collection full of Marvel games. With galleries, some achievements within the game, and music players that you would probably use while you're waiting for the fucking, I don't know, for your fucking match to begin and stuff. It is as regular as it can ever get. Really. But in all seriousness, it is not that bad. Like, they have had all the games in their original forms as you ever expect. And nothing more. Really. Well, eventually, I have wasted through most of the day. It's like some kind of a role play that I was in. And it sure was a little bit intense on the side, but yeah. Meanwhile, uh, and then eventually, I got on my PC again and decided to do another voice patch. This time it was a voice patch for a source, like pretty much a completely source accurate version for CVS to Sagat. And what voice patch did I make? It was pretty much an English Street Fighter 4 voice into that Sagat. And pretty much did my best to put in sound effects and whatsoever. Super Street Fighter 4 one. Yeah. Now, like, we're literally going full Street Fighter 4 yeah. Other than that, and I don't know how much testing it out in my situation there also. However, that was also interrupted, and I literally knew my sister that my goddamn fat piece of shit was brother has decided to throw out the fucking pillows and most of his things that were in the living through the fucking window. Look, I'm dead fucking sick. That fucking fat piece of shit just threw pillows, smaller pillows, and lots of other things on the fucking window. Even goddamn charger. My mom's goddamn phone charger. Or even a goddamn cup. A fucking glass cup. Like, what the fuck? But he's legitimately wants to be taken away to some goddamn place that can literally get him out of that shit. And this wasn't the first time that he did that. Because last week he did the same thing. And literally threw away the pillows and most of the things that were around. Jesus fucking Christ. That little child is like a fucking little Hitler. A fucking little Hitler in the family. And he's still like, what, 6 years or 11 years? 12 years? He's away. That young child is insane. But boy, and it was more than enough to not only distract me from what was already making me feel wrong, but it was also more than enough to make us feel like a fucking idiot. Because, you know, nobody was in the goddamn living room to watch it. So he took that goddamn chance and literally opened one door and screwed the goddamn door. There's a point where there are literally 2 pillows hanging onto the goddamn, you know, very top of the gate. Onto the very top of the gate. The spike end of the gate. At least the gate doesn't go on. Still. Like, what the fuck? If a child, if there's literally, like, at least 5 of this kind of child around the world, I'm telling you, and there's no exaggeration, he's gonna be as worse as Hitler, as worse as the fucking Israeli, as worse as fucking Stalin, as worse as fucking Trump, as worse as, like, fuck, I don't know. So she's definitely. But if he could fucking kill us, he would. If he would fucking, like, I don't know, jump off the goddamn window, he would. Because that fucking little child is crazy. It's not even human. And yet, yet the entire country still decide to treat him as a normal child. Which is fucking insane. Very that he used to break some goddamn values that we used to have. And used to break some fucking important stuff and strip them away. And can make us literally lose our minds while searching for the TV remote. Yep. It's that bad. It is that bad that it literally serves all kinds of purpose of killing. So yeah. And thanks to that, Mom of course is completely pissed and had his ass locked in with her inside her room. And literally took the kitchen's key, so there is no way for me to be able to get some water or whatsoever. Unless I fucking do like him and literally go in from the goddamn windows. Yeah, because it's fucking absurd. It is so absurd to the point of baffling. A point of blasphemy, bro. Like, seriously. It is not normal at all. And believe me, we have tried lots of things to make him behave like a normal human. It just doesn't work out. Literally just doesn't work out. Like, even my mom's charger, my mom's fast charger, has been literally, like, that one big thing of it, that big plug, has been thrown to the street. And I've literally, after a little bit of a deep search onto the street, I was able to find its parts. But I doubt that it's gonna work. Because it was fucking broken. It was only the goddamn hood of it. The base of it. Only the base of it, but not the inner components, nor the goddamn cover for that component. It was as good as it was going to get until I found the parts. And thankfully I did. But I doubt that it would work. You know what? Let me literally check it out now. Yep. Okay. I was able to plug in a part of it. Now to see if it still works. Of course, it's not fucking working. It's not working. That child is a serious business. And congrats to him, I have been completely distracted and taken over by how stupid he is. Yeah. It is seriously the most insane shit that you could ever have in your house. Like, seriously, it is baffling on all levels. It makes you even wonder, how in the world did he even, get to grow up a little bit? Well, I'll tell you, he didn't grow up. He's probably the reason why probably half of the house is getting destroyed. Yeah. But now that I have spoke about it, now that I have gotten my head a little bit off about it. I don't think it needs to be spoken about anymore because it is seriously, it is pretty much a waste of my progress compared to the regular video progress. Because, well, it's the 15th, of September, and yeah. Yeah. It is literally the day where I'm supposed to be preparing for the godforsaken induction program. I got pretty much already put in a copybook and yeah, pretty much put in a copybook and a 2 pens in my bag. But other than that, I don't think I'm gonna be able to put in some until, the rest of the freaking damn year progresses over. So, yeah. It is absolutely insane. Yeah. I'm pretty much still not ready. I'm pretty much still not ready for what's going to happen. But thanks to all this stupidity coming out from my brother, I've been literally more distracted. I've been completely distracted from the main goddamn worries and stuff. And I'm not even intending to sink his ass because he's still a fat fuck. Yeah, it is that bad. But again, that is a very small problem. It is a very small problem. The least of my worries. Cause, yeah, tomorrow is probably my last day of being able to be free, to be having free time whatsoever. And until then, I'm probably gonna have to prepare myself as much as I can, as much as I very can. In all terms of mental preparation. And hopefully, well, after tomorrow and the day after, does not go well. The day has completely passed by. Like frighteningly fast, like pretty scary how fast the day has went. Oh boy, I fucking hate that. And I guess by that time, I'm gonna be pretty much, like at this point, thanks to all this rapid pace, might as well just literally like fuck around after in all seriousness. Still not ready. I'm gonna have to force myself to be ready during those times. And it's fucking horrible and overwhelming. Seriously not ready for this. I'm seriously not ready for this shit. I wasn't even ready to literally witness lots of things being thrown in the goddamn streets by a child again. Well, in all hopes that things do not go wrong. Yeah, in all hopes that things do not go wrong. But thanks to that stupid shit, I've been distracted from the main issue. And I'm not ready. I'm still not ready. But at this point, I'm gonna have to be ready because it's literally a 1 day away. And then boom, I'm getting thrown into an induction program. And after those 2 days, boom, 3 days left before the new year starts. And who knows when the fuck am I gonna start and pretty much how many days am I gonna have to go. Then it better not be all 2 days. It better not be the entire week. Ugh. And those days are gonna be horribly long and extremely hard. So yeah, I'm probably fucked. Like I'm probably pretty much fucked up. Yep, it is as ridiculous as it can be. As ridiculous as it can be. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say because I'm just gonna be repeating the fact that I'm still not ready. I'm just still not ready. I'm still not ready. I know these past few days should have been more than enough, but I'm still not ready. I'm still not ready. I'm not ready at all. I don't want to go. I literally don't want to. I don't want to ever do education again, man. Like fuck. I literally just want to stay here and play some goddamn games, man. I want to be able to get myself to feel better. Jesus Christ. It's so fast. Things are going too fast. Well, it's 2:35 a.m. right now. I might have probably fucked myself in the ass by staying up again. So that's that. That's one way to kill half of the day. And you know, the craziest thing about this is that this isn't unlike any regular college or university. It's even unlike school, you know. Like, there's almost like no room to fuck up at this one. And yeah, this is hard. I don't know, but the main point is that I'm still not. Like, long story short, the bottom line is that I'm still not ready. Still not ready to face college. Still not ready to face the shitting. I'm not ready for that. It's just that I've got 1 day left, which is technically now until the morning. It is gonna be a pretty tough fucking process to prepare. Which is not happening because that's literally 1 fucking day before the goddamn college begins. But fuck, I'm still not ready. Still not ready for any of this at all. Still not ready. I don't want to fucking go. I don't want to do college. It's so horrible. Yeah. Bottom line, I'm still not fucking ready. If I was, I would have been feeling ready by now. Fuck it. Fuck education. Fuck everything else. Giving me the rest of my life. And I bet that's gonna throw me to the fucking streets. Yeah, the next thing education is gonna fucking do to me is that it's gonna throw me to the streets. Because we are literally in that moment where I could get fucking thrown to the streets. I'll get fucked up. 100%. Yeah, I feel like that this is gonna be the French Department 2.0. I'll get fucking. I'm gonna fuck. It's gonna go wrong. It's gonna go entirely wrong. It's gonna go entirely wrong when the preparations are like this and the pacing is like this. Things are gonna fucking go wrong, and I hope to God that I'm wrong at this. I hope to God that I am wrong at this. Because at this point, I don't even know what the fuck to do anymore. Because in all seriousness, I'm gonna get fucked up. It's gonna go wrong. I know. That's unfortunately all I'm gonna say. It's gonna get fucked. Well, if you're listening to this far, then I deeply thank you. And, yeah. This is, like I said, pretty much my therapy. My type of therapy. Because, again, there isn't anyone to talk to. Well, until we meet again on a positive note, I'll see you all later. God fucking help us all.